I got a special treat for you guys.
We're going straight mustache.
Oh man.
At first I had like the spikes down here, but then it just didn't do it. So I had the down pipes, but I keep them so thin all the time, so.
The down pipes.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was like a handlebar. What? No, it's called a freaking Fu Manchu. Oh no.
I don't know, I had the down pipes though, dude. I should have made some turbo bullhorns like Rodney.
On my honeymoon, my wife and I were on a cruise. She was in the shower, and I went and I shaved my face, and I had a Fu Manchu. As soon as she got out of the shower, she's like, "Oh hell no, we're not going to dinner like that." She's like, "You need to do something about that."
Yeah, the wife was not pleased with the mustache. But I did it.
Guys, this video is sponsored by Cove, and this is the 179S by Cove. It is freaking awesome. So guys, with our discount code, you can get 67% off of this. This thing would make an absolutely awesome Father's Day gift. Guys, we have these things all around the shop. They connect to any smartphone, tablet, or computer with Bluetooth 4.2. So this little guy is water resistant, but I wouldn't be throwing him in the pool. All right, this thing may be small, but I promise you, it is mighty. One of my favorite parts about this whole thing is when you split them up, and wherever you're working or whatever you're doing, you're right in the middle of it, you got 360 degrees of sound. It sounds awesome. They say that the speaker is good up to 33 feet. We're like about 60 feet away right now. Still kicking just fine. They also say that this thing is good for up to 7 hours worth of charge. Now I've gotten a little bit more out of that. Absolutely love how small and convenient this thing is. You can pretty much take it with you just about anywhere. When you're not using this thing as a speaker, it has a built-in mic, so you can use that with your smartphone when you got to get back to business. Guys, you can get this Cove here and get a fantastic Father's Day gift. There's a link right below right there. So it's Cove Audio/FP Cove, 67% off. Check that link. Get yours now before they're all gone. Well, guys, if you've been following us for any amount of time, you've seen how we dive in pretty nerdy with a whole bunch of different stuff on how we're able to make exceptional power. Now, you got to dot all your I's, cross all your T's, leave no stone unturned. And that's why we're here. George, part of this build, is going to be porting all of it.
All of it. We're going for some good numbers here on a stock bottom end, you know, stock blower, stock heads, just a little bit of love on them.
I mean, this is like what?
This is what we do.
Yeah.
We optimize, we adapt, and we overcome. Dang, that was
beautiful. That was pretty good.
so kind of.
I like how you worked that in there. Just slide that right in there.
Smooth.
Well, guys, if you've seen our V3 and what we've done with that vehicle, that is an exceptionally performing car. I mean, it is the fastest bolt-on V3 in the world, and it beats a whole lot of cars that have way more mods than that. But part of that type of thing is this exact principle. Now, that doesn't have ported heads or a camshaft in it, but it's the same idea in the fact that we've literally done every little last thing and optimized every little point that we possibly can. But in this cylinder head, we're really helping this thing flow a lot better at higher and higher RPM.
Let me touch on that. I just want to note how good it feels that nobody believes that Ben's car is just bolt-ons.
Yeah.
Everybody calls him
Where's
out,
the spray?
searches the car up and down, and it's just like, feels good because
yeah, no,
so many people with so much more money in their cars.
Totally true. Now, people accuse my father of that type of thing for years, and people accuse me of that when I set up the record with the C7Z06. They're like, I had somebody that was doing work on the car, like I had the car wrapped in Atlanta, and another shop called him and was like, hey, I'll give you a couple $100, tear that thing apart and find the nitrous. And they're like, dude, there's no nitrous on it. I was like, that's hilarious. I can't believe they did that.
But Ben's car did have heads and cam. Oh.
Dude, imagine what it would do. Yeah. Which we're trying to work on them right now on that, so we'll see.
You could make 900?
I don't know.
Get close to it.
I don't know if the stock blower, I think the most we've ever made on a stock blower car is probably like 850. Really, really, really pushing it too. We're not going to dive too terribly deep into the porting here today, but we have a ton of other videos that we've done all sorts of different porting on. And the thing we want to say over and over again is anything that drags your finger is going to be slowing that air down. And that is a fantastic transition right there. So you can still see a little bit of the casting mark right there. But this area right here, this last half inch, last 5/8 of an inch was quite a bit bigger, but that is such a nice smooth transition. And the LT4 and LT1 cylinder heads, you can literally see most of the back of the valve from right there. It's such a direct, just drop the air in. It is a fantastic flowing cylinder head from the factory. All we're doing is we're just tweaking it a little bit more, addressing all the small little areas that might have some little hiccups, little obstructions. But okay, so yeah, this is another ported set of heads. This one's been run, so it does have some carbon on it and such, but man, really good flowing. That is pretty doggone nice, brother. It's like porting porn.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. I'd sub to that.
I got my OnlyFans porting channel. Ellis Georgia. The goal is 850. We've done it before. Heads cam,
yep.
ported stock heads, stock blower, ported bolt-ons.
Well, let's get back to this. It's gonna make some serious power. All right, bud, you've been real busy on this thing, tearing this thing completely down, putting all in nice new parts here.
All new shiny parts.
I mean, been over here assembling the heads. So these are the heads that we showed that were getting ported there.
Yep, just picked them up from the machine shop this morning. They got a nice fresh machine job on them. Look at that, it's pretty slick, huh?
It looks good.
Smooth. All
right, so the game plan here is we're trying to pick up in excess of 250 horsepower on this engine. So this thing, we didn't get a chance to dyno at baseline, but we've done tons and tons and tons of them, and they dyno about 560 wheel horsepower. The manuals will dyno a little higher, as much as 580. My personal car, when I let it cool down, was a little right at 600, and again, these are rated at 650 horsepower at the motor. So again, something that we discuss all the time is motor horsepower versus actual wheel horsepower. Big difference.
Wheel horsepower is like engine horsepower after taxes.
You know,
dude,
that's really good. That's really good.
That's good.
You should have taken that one. So this thing should dyno about 560 wheel horsepower. Everything top end package, you know, ported blower, bigger throttle body. We're doing all of that stuff in order to get this thing to really breathe as good as it possibly can with the stock blower and all that. So we could put a different blower on there, but again, keeping this within reason as far as budget. I mean, this alone is a pretty hefty build. But what we're doing is optimizing everything that's there, and the car should run like, if it could cut a 60 foot, dude, it could run in the 8s. Yeah. It is a bad machine. We've had a lot of bolt-on cars run right in that 950, 960 range with this in this same platform. So again, this is an automatic car. If we hit over 810 wheel horsepower, our goal will be reached, 250 wheel horsepower gain. So run us through some stuff here, man. So you got the
be deep in the 9s.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, this is not going to happen unless it's got the perfect drag pack and all that other type of thing. But if the guy can just go ahead and drive to the track and run like a 950, 970 first time out, then that's pretty sick.
He's like, yeah, it runs like 11.2s. I'm like, it's gonna be a lot faster.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, this car is just the best car to do heads cam and optimize what you got. But yeah, like you were saying about a new blower, dude, this blower is like money.
Yeah.
If money grew on trees, it would be an LT4 blower.
All right, so dude, tell us real quick here. You got the cam in. We've got a custom spec cam. It idles mean as can be. However, it's going to drive absolutely fantastic. Now, this engine comes with 8 DOD lifters. So that means that it will shut down 4 cylinders. So this one, those 2, and then that one right there where you have the bosses, those cylinders get shut down. By replacing these lifters, we're going with an LS7 lifter that'll allow that engine to rev farther with a lighter lifter. Definitely going to increase the top end right there once we get the push rod length all correct. And with the ported heads and more boost, we're extending our usable RPM range, which is where we're getting a lot of our extra power. So not only are we gaining a ton more in that range, we're extending where we're making that power.
We got our cam phaser locked out to the max. We got a lot of good stuff going in. Innovators West lower, I think that's like 18% over, right?
Yeah, so that should be about 3 pounds of boost right there. One thing that we want to note is that as the engine flows better and better, boost is a measure of a restriction. So what we're doing, putting a ported cylinder head in there is going to allow it to flow more, and it will have less of a buildup of restriction. So you're going to drop boost. In other words, if you put a camshaft in there, you put headers on it, it's going to drop boost. However, the engine is gaining efficiency. So what we're trying to do is we're going to run that blower harder, proportionally add more airflow with how much easier we're flowing air, really.
Speaking of airflow, also we're putting a big old Nick Williams on this unit.
Indeed.
Big 5-inch intake, which is not here yet, I don't believe.
So we're going from about an 87 millimeter throttle body to a 103 millimeter throttle body, and that alone is going to play a large role in making a bunch more power here.
Yeah, dude, these things love a Nick Williams. Exit speed headers and X-pipe. Alky control meth kit going on. So the cam has a fuel load for the mechanical fuel pump. It's got a 32% larger load for the high side fuel pump. So
just like the camshaft would have a different lobe.
Just like camshaft, except it's a triangle. make it? It's a triangle. And it's got 3 big lobes, so they're 32% bigger. So
that's some like Illuminati stuff you just did there. You need to.
Oh man,
we're not going to do that.
The triangle.
Yeah.
No, okay. That's even worse. Anyways, you got 3 lobes. Now they're 32% bigger. So I mean, basically you're getting 32% more fuel on the high side, which is definitely necessary when it comes to the LT4s, because it just seems like you're always running out of fuel if you don't got meth.
It definitely does happen.
With that meth at that E85, it's like, oh, salt and pepper.
It's pretty
on
good.
A steak.
Salt and pepper on a steak. Well, you heard it here. You know, I
like
usually
super
say
clean and grit.
super clean and pumice. Get anything off. All right, I want to do a real quick fuel breakdown here for you guys. This is a little bit different than a lot of the other style engines because it's direct injection. So we have a low side fuel pump that would be in the tank, very much like a diesel, and then it steps it up to the high side. The high side, so that'll go as much as 93 pounds is what I can program. And I can go, and this right here will go up to about 4,000 pounds. So again, that's got to be able to supply that, and then that goes into the injector. Right here is the fuel pump fuel lobe right there. So this is the triangle, and that is a reshaped triangle of what is now in there with our other camshaft. The methanol takes off a whole bunch of extra load when we want to run E85. So E85 uses up about 35 to 40% more fuel if we're on full E85, and we're getting about an additional 30-35% methanol as a supplemental fuel, and it pretty much is a wash. So we're able to run our salt and pepper. I was gonna say, see, I normally say steroids and the perfect diet, but it usually works absolutely fantastic. One hand washes the other. It really steps up the octane. So you're going from a 93 octane to pretty much right about 112 octane when you have methanol and E85. A gigantic difference in timing and a big difference in power as well. Methanol being highly oxygenated, and E85 is pretty heavily oxygenated as well. So there goes George putting in LS7 lifters. Nice wiggles.
Little wiggles, you know.
Little wiggles goes a long way.
I'm on the side over here. Remember when I first started, I was like, man, these people are freaking crazy. Cars with like 3,000, 5,000 miles, but hey, here's a high pressure fuel pump. So then all this hardware gets replaced with ARP hardware, because once you put all that 32% more fuel lobe on there, it's up in that duty cycle. Them bolts need to get a little stretched out.
There's been a time where that's wiggled loose before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we didn't have that early on.
Yeah.
So going with the ARP bolt definitely solved that problem.
Wife man once taught me, rules are written in blood. So basically you gotta learn the hard way.
I've been tuning my heart out. George has been pumping this thing out. Heads are on. Look at that balancer. That thing looks impressive.
It's not small. Clean, got all the pulleys back on there.
We are using stock injectors, stock fuel pump right there as well, stock in-tank pump. We have a cold air intake going in. You got to open up that air right there. So this is all of where the cold air gets its air, from this little area. What we do is we open this up, pretty much doubling the amount of airflow that is potentially going in there. And then furthermore, George,
Furthermore, Susan,
wouldn't be the least bit surprised. See if this thing gets a ram air down there too. So we have a ram air that gets, we cut an area right down in here that funnels air right up into this cavity where it picks up the cold air. You know,
works like a dream.
It really does work well. The faster we go, the more air goes up in there. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Faster you go, more air.
Well said. All right, so one of the limitations that we're working with is this little blower right here. Now that right there, that's a bigger blower. That came off of 2009 to 2013 01. That is a 2300. This guy right here though is a 1.7 liter, so that is a 1700. Now we're asking a whole lot off of a little guy right there. It is small, but it is mighty, just like our Cove speaker here.
Clever.
In order to get this thing to breathe a lot better, it really takes everything we can throw at it. So George has done a monstrous porting job. Not on this one is stock.
This one's a beast right here.
Alleviating any sort of restrictions. This one is a ported 2300. So that is not only the overall size of the rotor, not only is it the length of the rotor, but again, the diameter of the rotor makes a big impact on that. It's got some girth.
It's got the length and it's got the girth.
And these brakes are more efficient.
Yes, that is also true. So this is a much more efficient blower, but because it's kind of located in a more low slung, hung back way. So it is very compact. They had to compromise somewhere, and this blower does make good power for stock, but it just gets a little bit harder to inch it up. So that's where we come in, do everything we can to optimize that little blower. And you can't really just put that blower on there. That doesn't really work like that. A lot of people would think, hey, you do this, and it doesn't really work like that. This one has port injection, and this one is a direct port.
So the factory LS8 blowers or the LS9 have roughly a 3-inch pulley on them. 3-inch on the LS8. I think the LS9 is that 3-inch too, or is it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
LT4 has a 2.5. It is a smaller, more efficient blower, so they can spin it faster to make the power numbers they want to make.
Yeah, and they're making more boost factory with the LT than they are the LS. There's like 10 pounds on that, and I think the ZR1 is like 9 pounds or something. But yeah, the LSAs are like 8 pounds stock. We definitely have a good idea on how to optimize this setup. And one of the things that we always get is people asking us, hey, George, should I put a bigger aftermarket blower on there?
That was Ben's first thing he wanted to do. We were like, dude, pump the brakes, port the blower, hit the gas, and it's gonna go fast.
And once we optimize all that whole package right there, this thing works absolutely fantastic. And it's beaten so many other cars that have had tons more money invested than what we do right here.
Heads, cams, big blowers, and he's going 950s, and they're going like 10 slows.
Georgie of the mustache. Looking really good. We got our 5-inch intake on there. Got our hole cut. That hole is all cut out. Normally, most of the cold airs that we would recommend have a cap on that, so we're not getting any underhood engine air, but this one at speed will get some pretty good cold air there. Big old Nick Williams 103mm throttle body. That looks fantastic on there. This little 1.7 needs all the help that it can get in order to ingest as much air, and these two components right there definitely make that pretty much optimized. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be possible without those gigantic pieces trying to feed this little blower. Every little bit is optimized. This is so much better of a route than going with an aftermarket blower, really within a much tighter budget than what it would take in order to be able to put that big blower on here.
We got our alky control kit. You see it comes with a new cap for your windshield washer tank there. It's empty right now, but now they also have this nice heat tape.
So that adds a little bit to the installation, and that's, you got about 8 hours probably darn near tied up in the methanol alone installation.
Wiring under the dash of the driver's side of a Corvette. It's a tight spot. But I like to put everything there because it's up out of the way, and then it's at the same time kind of easily accessible.
And then suddenly I became overcome by the notion that George looked just like Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Pump goes right on the inner fender there, and then our hose is coming up right here.
Split off. You got
out of the way of your hood latch there.
Oh, yep, true.
And then yeah, I got one down there, but you know, I like to make them kind of clean so that way once this unit's on there, bingo bango bondo, you pop the hood, it's like, oh wow, look at that.
2 15-gallon-per-hour nozzles in there, and that's going to add a very substantial amount to our overall fueling.
Also, this blower is gonna rip.
She's a special one. She's got a lot of love.
Stage 2.
Stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know we had a stage 2.
We do now. The thing I don't have yet is a belt for that.
It's whether it takes 1 day to port it or 2 days to port it.
Oh boy.
We don't have a belt yet, so we got the big lower, small upper, and the thermal plates.
We're this close.
So close. Probably closer than that.
This close?
Yeah.
Well, we just got a base tune in this thing. It's looking really, really good. Excellent drivability so far. Put her on the dyno, see what she makes. Man, that car is sick. Well, it's finally dyno time. We're going to start doing our first pulls here in a minute. This car has the ability to open and close the baffles on the muffler. I absolutely love this feature. I'll show it to you from outside, but inside, it's pretty wild. Check it out real quick here. So it's in touring mode. We go in and change it to track. All right, let's check it out from out there. Now it's really important important to know this thing sounds mean as can be, but the drivability is absolutely fantastic. The cam has wide lobe separation, so it still has really a lot of lope, but it has almost no overlap. So it sounds mean, but it drives really, really, really good.
First pull, let's see. Oh! Oh!
Already?
Dang!
Already?
Holy crap! Now that's a, hey, now that's a good bass tune, buddy.
That was pretty neat.
Dang! Imagine that one pull. All right, load it up.
Yep, done.
Holy crap! First pull, 814. 840 torque. 840. That's making that boost down low, buddy.
That's pretty good.
Was that a full pull?
It was pretty close. I mean,
much?
it was like 5,900 or something.
How much boost we making?
It's like about 16.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Does
With
it
it's got 2-inch headers too.
Fantastic. If it's doing this on that,
Yeah.
on E,
Oh, that was a really good, really good baseline.
Okay, so
pull.
look, we've already done 250 horse. We were hoping
Yeah, we're
for
good.
250 plus.
We're good.
So we can do like 290. Woo, that is a good number. For you walk in, you walk out, 290 wheel horsepower.
You're a happy camper.
Yeah.
And then under the hood looks like it's got a cold air.
All right, pardon the noise a little bit. We got some fans rolling here trying to cool this thing down. Right on our last pull, we made 825 wheel, and we have seen somewhere in the neighborhood of about 839, 840 pound-feet of torque pretty consistently. The torque is a little bit ugly, but the peaks are accurate. Very broad, very nice curve. We just pumped out all the 93, and now we're putting on some E85. Let's see what this thing will do. We're hoping, if we made 825, we at least got to hit 840, but 850 would really be just icing on the top.
Full pull. I think it's on like 50% E. That's a nice blue. Oh, baby. Torque though is ridiculous.
Dude, that rocks.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, he's gonna be pumped.
Yeah. Dude, that's really, really solid.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
It's more than 849 torque because we picked up like.
You probably shouldn't street tune this by yourself.
Yeah, you're right. Hell yeah, dude.
A new milestone, buddy.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Oh, yes. Stock blower. That's what we're talking about. Nice, dude. Nice. Oh, I'm so happy about that.
I'm gonna rip it again and let's see what we got here. Dude, that's outstanding.
Yeah, that's
that is
freaking
so outstanding.
That's good.
That's like the most power we've ever made on automatic.
It is now, yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, 850, 852, got a little heat in her. Most power we made out of automatic with a stock blower.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Heck yeah, dude.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah, I'm pumped, dude. I'm so happy.
Dude, he's gonna be over the moon.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's great. Great job. I can't wait to drive it. We're gonna have to drive it tomorrow. So yeah, dude, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be a sick, fun video right there.
By the way, I named this one Papa Smurf, and now it's fitting.
All right. Guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. This has been a really fun episode to make. I hope you guys get as much fun out of it as George and I have doing what we do. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also want to remind you guys about that Cove. Makes a great Father's Day gift. If you guys buy some Fasterproms merch, it definitely helps us out. We greatly appreciate it. We certainly want to give back to you guys. We try and drop all sorts of knowledge of what we do day in and day out to hopefully save you guys hundreds of dollars. Wanted to leave you guys with a quote here. In the midst of chaos, there's also opportunity. The song I want to leave you with is by Hermitude. It's called The Buzz. It's definitely a weird one. Hope you guys dig it. God bless you. We'll see you next episode.